Hey everybody, and welcome to our Christmas edition of Connecting Japan, and this is our yearly update, everything that happened and what a year it's been. So we started off this year in January celebrating our 6th anniversary of existence, and we've met so many people and done a lot over the year. So we started off with a surprise visit to the Kramen Botanical Gardens with some of our Japanese friends and some other Hello Talk friends that came along, which was really great. And in February, it was our 1-year anniversary with Cross Culture. So as of next year, we will have been with them for 2 wonderful years. And there's been so much that's happened over that period of time. And we've really gotten to know a lot of the wonderful staff and leaders that really make this place a great place to volunteer at. We still have a lot that we still do, trying our very best to go to everything that Connect Christian Church has on. But obviously it's not always possible to do, and we have been released to be able to work in these ministries and collaborate with all these wonderful organisations, and we just want to say a heartfelt thank you to them for allowing us to be able to work in the calling that we've been given. And we also met our first Hello Talk person for the year. Unfortunately, the weather being unkind, we weren't able to take them to the famous Japanese exhibit, but they did say they really enjoyed Melbourne, even if the weather was not the best. In March, obviously, we prayed for the Iwate prefecture that had terrible bushfires. Now, usually in Japan, bushfires are not a thing. Usually it's a very safe country. This kind of natural disaster is kind of a rarity. But yes, this particular part of Japan, which is northwestern part of Honshu, is still recovering. So please do pray for them during this time. And I also passed my beginner 1 at Nanawarding Japanese Language School. As you know, if you've been following us, I am 3/4 of the way through B2, beginner 2. It's a lot more complex, and I know I need to spend more and more time studying because it's Japanese language, as we said in the videos, can be quite difficult to learn if you're not prepared to put in the hard work. And we also had a social outing at the Yuyangs National Park. If you haven't seen the video, Yuyangs is situated just before sort of Geelong area, or just in the outskirts of Geelong, not far from the Avalon airfield. It was a great day, but yeah, the humidity and the amount of people plus the airplanes going overhead, it was really fun. But there was a lot of hard work to bring that about, and we did have a really good turnout. We also had regionals always this time, and we assisted Pastor Phil Shand. He is the Australian Christian Church's Victorian church planter. So that kind of person goes around to all the areas of Victoria and visits churches, helps them if they're having difficulties, or they're starting up, or they're tooling their vision. And they're really great to be able to bring churches into aligning with the community. So it's really great. But we weren't doing that. We were helping him with missions, because his role there is kind of dual hats that he has to wear half the time. So we were only too happy to divide up all the regions, especially where they clashed. So he went one way, we went the other, and there was a lot of traveling. My travel to Shepparton was probably the longest. And we also started collaborating with Empath. So as of next year, March next year, will be 1 whole year. So each year we've actually had a new collaborator in the last few years. And we also visited our first Japanese exhibition at National Gallery Victoria, Yayoi Kusama. If you haven't watched the video, definitely watch it. It was amazing. It was very sensory. And we did a bit of a background on her. Amazing lady in her 90s, living her best life despite limitations, and bringing some amazing artwork to Australia. So anyway, that was really cool. We farewell one of our long-term Japanese who was at the hike at Yuyangs with us. A quick update, he's doing really well. He's continuing really strong in his Christ follower journey, and has found work, and he's very fulfilled in his life. So one of my friends, Hinata, came to Australia. She stayed a little bit longer. I think she went back a few months ago as of the filming of this video. Unfortunately, because we had it was towards the end of April and we were getting ready to go on our big trip, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with her. But as far as some of the other Japanese who know her well, told me that she really enjoyed her time with us, and really picked up some fantastic skills while working in Melbourne. So we also started participating with Japanese Christian Fellowship Network as well. Our role with them is merely just supporting them in prayer at the time of in April. And we also went into Melbourne for an Easter service as well, so that was really cool. And of course, end of April, we flew out of Melbourne to Japan. And of course, you can watch the series of videos that we did while we were in Japan. We went to so many places. There's already a recap video on our time in Japan, so you can check that out. It was great to have a working holiday, a birthday, and meet some really great friends. In total on that trip, we met 8 Hello Talk friends. It was a lot of difficulty trying to work on the schedule that we had with JCFN and OMF and Cross Culture, because they were all together for the Melbourne Initiative, and trying to figure out that schedule, as well as slotting in all of our Hello Talk friends. And also we met the ACCI missionary in Aomori, Penny Nakanishi, and her team, and got to do a bit of gospel singing as well. So there was a lot that we had to do. I feel tired just talking about it. So we, the people that we met, some of them were coffee chats. A couple of them were, one of them was dinner. One of them, obviously, you saw the Shinjuku Gyoen video. She was part of that. And we had four that came to the Kichijoji event. So that was really good. An update with them. Some of them are still attending the gathering events at Kichijoji. And that church is 00 Cross, so quick shout out to them. We also had, towards the end of May, the Melbourne Japanese Festival in Box Hill, and which is more of a corporate event. So many corporate Japanese companies that are part of the Australian landscape participate in that, as well as local communities. So yeah, that was really good. Again, the weather's always a little bit funny because it's like autumn. And we had, for June, we had an empath event called Ikagai, which means wellness. And we also had a new Hello Talk friend come for a short stay. and named Natsumi, and we also had a team meeting for that half of the year. Kind of hard for us to have a team meeting with cross culture. A lot of the time we're all very busy. We're all different parts of Melbourne. I think we're the furthest away, but that's okay. Yeah, that was a really good rest because we kind of needed it. July, we hosted an English class for our first time for a short-term stayer that came to Australia, not to Melbourne, of course, only to Sydney. And we also prayed for Hokkaido because they had some intense activity there that triggered a tsunami. We also participated as an MC, so I'm still learning a lot, so hopefully I can get some more training with cross culture to learn to do some of these things. I do talk a little bit fast. I used to be a receptionist, so it's a occupational hazard. So hopefully I can work on that. And I became the Australian correspondent for Empath, and I've sort of got a team together, and hopefully we can get more Japanese that live in Melbourne to be part of that. And we also had another outdoor event with cross culture at Albert Park Lake and South Melbourne Market. So we started becoming social outdoor event leaders at the start of the year, along with one of the long-term leaders at cross culture, and we're probably working on whether we can do more of these into the future. It's, watch this space. We'll tell. That will give you more information into 2026. Met another Hello Talk friend. So yes, Natsumi was this short-term friend. We had some more. Yusuke was the other one that we met in June. And we also had the kimono event, which was part of the National Gallery of Victoria. So showed traditional styles, the origins of kimonos, and future styles. So check that video out also. And we spent a few days in Melbourne ahead of the ACC Vic State Conference, which gave us opportunities not only to catch up with friends that live in the country, because that's where all the pastors come in, but we also met Hiro-san, who is the boss of Empath. His son lives in Melbourne, and Sarah's son, who's now gone back to Japan and is part of Empath. So somehow along the line, we become really good positive influences in a lot of different ways in 2025. In October, Japan heralded a new PM, Kaichi-san, and we started to have more Zooms towards the end of this year as well. About the end of August, early October, I started tutoring with Pegasus Tuition, and so Zooms have become more of my landscape this time. And we've also had more Zooms with Empath, our correspondence meetings, and of course monthly JCFM prayer as well. And we also had the annual high tea with the Connect ladies. And while it's been a very positive year, it was a little bit sad because we also love Thailand. They actually lost the Queen Mother Secret, which was King Rama IX's wife, in this month. In November, which was the month started pretty hot, we attended a more local community art festival in Collingwood, which is more in line with Japan's art festival season over there. So it was coinciding with that, which was really cool. And this is the second year we actually participated with the OMF webinar, with his Japanese on your doorstep. and met a new friend. If you've seen our socials, Richard, who owns Aesthetic Wear, he'd been running that business for a couple of years now. He's originally from Bendigo area, which there are some Japanese up there and there are some local growers up there. Hopefully we can get there in 2026. And we also pray for the people in the Oyata prefecture who they had a series of houses in very closely knit neighborhoods there as well. And we had our final event with the outdoor event here at our home, and we had 8 Japanese guests that had a fantastic time. We said farewell to a couple of them and interviewed them. One male Japanese and one female Japanese. The male Japanese, Ray, actually just went back less than a week ago, and they all had a great time. And they were we had people here in this very room until about 5:30, so they stayed for quite a long time. So yes, we do love to practice hospitality. We as always, we farewell many of our Japanese in December, and we've also had a series of events after that. So each of the cross-culture events, such as gathering, English conversation, or kaiwa as it is in Japanese, and the bilingual service, all had their last their Christmas events during that time. Each one of them was well attended. I think the bilingual service had 50 people, which is probably the largest number of people they've had to date. And we have been pretty busy this year, and so is cross culture. They've continuously grown. They've had an intern for this year, and I believe it's only for a year, so don't know what's going to come of that in 2026. How many Hello Talk friends have we met? 13 this year, so we have definitely exceeded our number from last year. And what will happen next year, we're not 100% sure. We just work and leading with things. At this stage, JLPT has now got exams in the July period that include a new location, which is Sydney. So Gold Coast, Canberra are the regular locations, and now Sydney has added one because so many people are learning Japanese. And the JLPT is a proficiency test is a requirement in Japan. Basically, N4 is the basic level, and then you need that. And then to be really proficient, they say N3 is probably where you can stop, unless you want to go higher. Who will we participate with at this stage? We are still participating with Empath and Cross Culture. There could be more participations with JCFN into next year also. Is Japan still an option? Yes, it is. So we continually ask you guys to pray for us about that. So I think that wraps up the whole year. It's been a cracker of a year. We've had so much on. We're both pretty tired, and my only hope and prayer is to stay healthy, and also for us to continue to love and care for the Japanese. We would love to see one of them to become a Christ follower directly from us, but we are just one of the sowers that sow the seed. So from all of us here, we just want to say thank you, guys. So we would like to say thank you to JCFN, Japanese Christian Fellowship Network, Empath, Japan Foundation, Cross Culture Melbourne. We'd also like to say a heartfelt thank you to ACC Victoria and ACC New South Wales, and Connect Christian Church, and to all the churches that we have visited during the regionals. And we also a special thank you to all of you that have been watching this year. So we've had about currently 485 followers. We're at roughly about close to 1,600. It keeps fluctuating on Instagram, and we've had some more subscribers this year too. So here on YouTube, and more of you are engaging on our website. So from all of us here, Ja Martinet, guys, have a great Christmas. Stay safe on the roads. Stay cool if you're in a hot area. Stay warm if you're in Japan, and we'll see you guys definitely in 2026. Hopefully we'll have some idea about what we're going to film. Ja, bye!